There's a moment in history where the human mind started sketching the end of all things, not as a disaster report, but as a grand design, a final unveiling, a cosmic architecture shaking loose its foundations. Revelation sits there at the edge of the canon like a locked vault. Shadows coil around its symbols. Artists, monks, mystics, and scholars spent centuries circling its pages like something alive. Not out of fear, out of recognition, as if the imagery wasn't just written, but summoned. Inside this book, patterns pulse beneath the surface, numbers repeating like footsteps in the dark, creatures that don't behave like metaphors, scenes that look less like visions and more like warnings carved into the spine of time itself. And tonight, we're stepping into the architecture behind the chaos. Not to decode it, but to confront it. When John of Patmos wrote Revelation, he wasn't trying to create a blockbuster prophecy chart. He was writing from exile under the Roman Empire when Christians were being hunted. So he turned his suffering into symbolism. He wrapped truth in images, because images survive torture. Images outlive censorship. And the first movement of his apocalypse isn't the horsemen, it's the 7 seals. The seals are like a descending staircase into disorder. Each one opens a wider fracture in the world. Catholic and Orthodox readers tend to frame these as symbolic cycles, patterns of conflict humanity repeats. Many Protestants, especially in some modern traditions, treat them as future events in a precise timeline. But either way, the structure stays the same. The realm of heaven opens a scroll that no one on earth can touch. Only the Lamb, Christ, breaks the seals. It's a reminder that whatever comes after, even the chaos, comes under divine permission. The first seals unleash the well-known riders, but after them, the mood of the vision sinks deeper. A cry from under the altar, a great earthquake, stars falling like lanterns dropped from heaven. Then, the 7th seal opens, and there's nothing. Silence. A silence so heavy, the early church fathers described it as the pause between breaths before judgment. The silence breaks when the 7 trumpets sound. And these aren't subtle. Mountains on fire thrown into the sea, a star called wormwood poisoning rivers, the sky darkening by a third. It reads like the world is unraveling thread by thread, light by light. Catholic commentary often stresses the symbolic nature of scale. John uses cosmic destruction to express the collapse of oppressive powers. Protestant futurist readings, on the other hand, sometimes see real-world parallels. Comets, nuclear events, environmental disasters. Orthodox tradition tends to pull back from speculation entirely, warning that trying to map symbols to news headlines is spiritually dangerous. But the imagery is the message. Creation itself reacts when justice finally moves. From there, Revelation shifts tone sharply. You get one of its most dramatic scenes, a woman clothed with the sun, crowned with 12 stars, and a dragon waiting to devour her child. Catholics traditionally see the woman as Mary, or sometimes as the Church. Orthodox icons also emphasize her cosmic dignity. Many Protestants see her as symbolic Israel, but all traditions agree on the tension this scene holds. Innocence threatened by raw evil. The dragon, often linked to Satan, sweeps a third of the stars down in its fury. It's the language of rebellion on a cosmic scale. The atmosphere here shifts. It's not just plagues or disasters anymore. It's spiritual conflict. The kind old manuscripts painted as gold on black, with angels hurling spears of light. Then Revelation moves into its most controversial territory, the beast from the sea and the beast from the earth. This is where interpretations split hard. Catholic tradition often sees the beast as the Roman Empire, specifically its emperor cult, representing political power turned violent. The Orthodox echo a similar caution. Don't obsess over predicting a specific modern figure. Focus on the pattern of power becoming monstrous. Protestant reformers, however, flipped the script. Many read the beast as the papacy or Catholic Church itself. That's how the Reformation created centuries of rivalry. But step back from the arguments and look at the symbol. A creature rising from chaos, crowned with authority, demanding worship. It's about what humans create and then fear. It's about systems that become beasts. Next, two figures appear, the two witnesses, calling out corruption, performing signs, and meeting violent death in the streets of a great city. Their bodies lie exposed while the world celebrates. Some see them as literal prophets yet to come. Others view them symbolically as law and gospel, or as the Church's collective voice under persecution. But their story highlights a theme Revelation won't let go of. Truth doesn't vanish when killed. Truth rises. Then, we arrive at the word everyone knows. Armageddon. The final battle. The gathering of nations. The great showdown. The place, Har Megiddo, was a real battlefield in ancient Israel. John uses it as a symbol of ultimate conflict. And here's the thing. Revelation doesn't actually depict some long, drawn-out cinematic fight. The victory is fast, overwhelming. The beast falls, evil collapses, justice arrives like a hammer. Catholic, Orthodox, and many Protestant scholars agree on this point. Revelation's final battle is about divine authority, not military choreography. The apocalypse isn't the world ending in chaos. It's the world ending in order. Then everything shifts again, completely. A new city descends. The New Jerusalem, painted in gold, built on precious stones. A place where tears and death simply stop. Some see it literally. Others see it symbolically, the final renewal of creation. The Orthodox often describe it as the restored destiny of humanity. Catholics view it as the fulfillment of God's kingdom. Protestants vary widely, some literal, some symbolic, some both. But the point lands the same. Revelation doesn't end with destruction. It ends with restoration. A city that doesn't fall apart. A world rebuilt, not burned out. And through all of this, seals, trumpets, beasts, dragons, cities, Revelation keeps whispering a deeper question. Why do humans need symbols when the world gets dark? Why do we give chaos a shape? Why do we draw monsters to understand systems? Why do we imagine holy cities when ours fall apart? These symbols became survival tools for exiles, for persecuted believers, for people who had no power but still believed the story wasn't over. So here's the question for you. When you look at Revelation's images, the dragon, the city, the beasts, the angels, do you see prophecy or psychology? A future prediction or a mirror held up to every age? Tell me in the comments what you think this entire apocalyptic vision is trying to warn us about. Until next time, keep questioning, keep searching beyond the structure of what you know,